As you can see, today is Bring Your Children's Toys to Work Day at Midland, and I'm going to utilize this day to explain to you what certified PCR is. For this example, we're going to be talking about flexible films. In this case, let's just call it stretch film. So we've got this stretch film factory over here, and they have traditionally produced their high-performing stretch film that allows you to down gauge and still maintain all the containment attributes you need for a successful shipment. They're going to then sell this to this consumer, this company, who is stretch wrapping their pallets. They're going to use that, they're going to wrap their loads, it's going to go out, and then at the retail application, it's going to get put into a recycling bin and then go off to the recycling center. At the recycling center, this particular product, this stretch film, is very clean, very clear. It's going to get mixed up with other plastics. And some of those plastics might have printing on them. Some of those plastics might have some additional resins in it, like a polypropylene for puncture resistance, and a few other attributes. So it's gonna get mixed up, it's gonna get put through the recycling machine, and then get shipped back to the stretch film factory. Now at this stretch film factory, they're interested in adding PCR content to their product. So they're gonna take traditional virgin resin and they're gonna mix that with some PCR. And PCR is a little bit hazier. It obviously has been contaminated by some other elements. So they're gonna mix that all together and then they're gonna clean out their Play-Doh machine and they're gonna run this new resin through there. And what we're finding is typically about 10% PCR, 90% virgin doesn't affect the attributes or performance characteristics of the stretch film. Anything above 10%, we start to see a decline in some containment attributes and some other performance attributes. Up around 30, you really have to run the machine slower and you probably get less pre-stretch as well. And that's just in general what we're seeing in the industry today. So about 10% is the sweet spot to not negatively affect the performance attributes of that stretch film. So they're gonna go ahead and run that. And now we can see some of that PCR content coming out. It's gonna go back to this factory that is producing whatever they do. They stretch wrap their loads and it goes back around and around. And in order to get certified, the Association of Plastic Recyclers recognizes 5 certification companies or auditors. And these people will come out to your facility and they will review your manufacturing process. And at a minimum, you have to be running that grade of product for roughly 6 months in order to get it qualified or certified by one of these companies who is recognized by the APR. And the APR doesn't necessarily certify themselves, but they recognize 5 distinct people that do. So this auditor will go through the process, they'll review the product, and then deem that that product does actually have that percentage of PCR in it. There are other ways to deem products to have PCR and not necessarily have the PCR in the product. And that is a future greenwashing episode that we'll be bringing to you shortly. Thank you for your time today.